Have you ever noticed this strange paradox? The more you try to control your mind, the more restless it becomes. And the moment you stop trying to fix it, something inside begins to settle by itself. What if the mind you think you have is only the surface of something far deeper? What if your thoughts are not you, but merely the outer ripples of an unseen ocean? Welcome to the universe within. Today, we're going to explore the subtle layers of the mind, not as a theory, not as philosophy, but as something you can directly recognize in your own experience. This is not about believing anything new. It's about seeing what has always been there. Most of us grow up believing the mind is simple. I think, I feel, I decide. Thoughts come, emotions arise, memories appear, and we call all of this my mind. But according to the Buddha, what we usually call the mind is actually a stack of processes, operating at different depths, some loud, some silent, some so subtle that we live our entire lives without noticing them. In the Satipaṭṭhāna Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 10, the Buddha doesn't ask us to analyze the mind intellectually. He asks us to observe it directly. Here, a monk knows a mind with lust as a mind with lust, a mind without lust as a mind without lust. Notice something important. He doesn't say, "This is my mind." He says, "This is a mind." That single shift, from ownership to observation, opens the doorway to understanding the mind's layers. Here's a question that might feel unsettling. If you can observe a thought, how can that thought be you? If you can notice an emotion arise and pass, what exactly is the one who notices? This is not a riddle meant to confuse you. It's an invitation to look closer. Because the mind is not one solid thing. It's more like an ecosystem. The Buddha often spoke of citta, usually translated as mind or heart-mind, but citta is not just thinking. In the Abhidhamma, citta is described as a moment of knowing, arising and passing away faster than we can imagine. Each moment of consciousness is brief, conditioned, and dependent on causes. Thoughts are only one expression of citta, and not even the most important one. Let's start with the most obvious layer, the thinking mind. This is the layer we're most familiar with. The inner narrator, the storyteller, the voice that comments on everything. It judges, it plans, it worries, it remembers, it imagines. When people say, "I can't stop my mind," this is usually what they mean. But here's the paradox. The thinking mind is not actually thinking all the time. It only appears continuous because thoughts arise so quickly that they create the illusion of a single stream. In the Madhupindika Sutta, MN 18, the Buddha explains how contact gives rise to perception, perception gives rise to thinking, and thinking proliferates into mental stories, papancha. Most suffering doesn't come from raw experience. It comes from this mental proliferation. A sound is just a sound. But the mind says, "Why did they say that? What does this mean about me? What if this happens again?" And suddenly, suffering is born. Here's a simple experiment. Close your eyes for a moment. Notice the next thought that arises. Don't stop it. Don't judge it. Just notice. Now ask yourself gently, did I choose that thought, or did it simply appear? This is where insight begins. Thoughts are events, not commands, not identities. They arise due to conditions and pass when conditions change. But beneath the thinking mind lies a quieter layer, the feeling tone layer. Before a thought becomes a story, it is first felt as pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. This is called Vedana. In the Salayatana Saṃyutta, SN 36, the Buddha emphasizes that feeling tone is the critical link between experience and craving. We don't crave because we think. We crave because something feels pleasant. We resist because something feels unpleasant. And most of this happens before words appear. For example, you open your phone. A notification appears. Before any thought forms, there's already a subtle pull. Pleasant, interesting, attractive. That pull is Vedana. If we're unaware of this layer, we become its servant. But when we see it clearly, something changes. Here's a paradoxical insight. You don't react to life as it is. You react to how life feels. And those feelings are conditioned, not personal. This is why two people can experience the same event and suffer in completely different ways. The event is not the cause. The feeling tone is. Now we go deeper. The layer of perception. This layer is called saññā. Perception labels experience. It recognizes shapes, identifies patterns, and assigns meaning. Before you think tree, there is already recognition. Before you think enemy or friend, there is already classification. In the Khandha Saṃyutta, SN 22, the Buddha explains that perception is one of the 5 aggregates, impermanent, conditioned, and not self. Yet we trust perception completely. We rarely question it. But perception is not reality. It is an interpretation. Consider this. Have you ever misunderstood someone's tone and reacted emotionally, only to realize later that your perception was wrong? The words didn't change. Your perception did. This is why mindfulness is so powerful. It slows down the process between perception and reaction. It allows us to see, this is just perception. This is just labeling. But even perception is not the deepest layer. The layer of mental formations, this is sankhara. Habits, tendencies, conditioned responses. These are the grooves carved by repetition. In the Sankhara Sutta, SN 12.2, the Buddha describes mental formations as conditioning consciousness itself. This means your current way of experiencing the world is shaped by past intentions. Not fate, not destiny, but conditioning. If anger has been practiced, anger arises easily. If kindness has been cultivated, kindness flows naturally. This is karma, not as punishment, but as momentum. Here's a subtle paradox. You feel like you are choosing freely, yet most of your reactions are rehearsals from the past. The mind doesn't ask, what is the wisest response? It asks, what has worked before? Seeing this layer clearly is deeply liberating, because what is conditioned can be reconditioned. And now we arrive at a layer that few people recognize directly. The background awareness. This is not a thought, not a feeling, not a perception. It is the knowing of experience itself. In the Bāhiya Sutta, Udana 110, the Buddha gives one of the most radical teachings. In the seen, there is only the seen. In the heard, only the heard. In the sensed, only the sensed. In the cognized, only the cognized. When this is seen directly, suffering collapses. Why? Because the mind stops adding a center. No me watching, no mind controlling, just knowing. This awareness is not created by meditation. It is revealed by removing distraction. It has always been present. When a sound arises, awareness knows sound. When a thought arises, awareness knows thought. Awareness does not argue. It does not judge. It does not cling. It simply knows. Here's a gentle inquiry you can try. Right now, before the next thought appears, what is here? Not the answer in words, but the direct sense of knowing. That quiet presence is not personal. It doesn't belong to you. This is why the Buddha said in the Anaṭtalakkhana Sutta, SN 2259, this is not mine. This I am not. This is not myself. Not as philosophy, but as a description of reality, seen clearly. As mindfulness deepens, the layers of the mind begin to separate naturally. Thoughts lose their authority. Emotions lose their permanence. Habits lose their inevitability. And something unexpected happens. You don't become numb, you become more alive. Because when you're no longer fighting the mind, you can finally listen to it. This is where compassion arises. You see that suffering is not a personal failure. It is a misunderstanding of how the mind works. And when understanding arises, kindness follows naturally. Let's bring this back to everyday life. When someone criticizes you, notice the layers. First, sound, then perception, criticism, then feeling tone, unpleasant, then mental formation, defensiveness, then thought, I need to protect myself. But if awareness is present, you can pause anywhere in this chain. And in that pause, freedom appears. Not freedom from experience, but freedom within experience. This is the heart of the Buddha's path, not escaping the world, not suppressing the mind, but understanding it so deeply that it no longer binds you. So, the next time your mind feels overwhelming, remember this: you are not inside the storm, you are the sky in which the storm appears. The layers of the mind are not obstacles, they are doorways, and the more gently you observe them, the more the universe within reveals itself. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this exploration resonated with you, stay with the universe within. Because the deeper you look, the less separate you become. And the quieter the mind becomes, the more clearly life speaks.